A massive, 100-kilogram shadow crawls rapidly across the dry, sun-drenched grass fields. It delivers a lightning-fast snap to the target's leg and immediately retreats backward. Instead of tearing, the predator slowly follows behind the wounded prey for several days. Why does this giant killer abort the exhausting physical chase to wait passively? Why does this giant lizard abort the physical chase and choose to wait patiently? Welcome to Continent vs. Ocean. Today, we analyze the silent tracking tactics of the Komodo dragon. To solve this mystery, we must examine the dragon's skull anatomy and chemistry. We will bust the bacteria myth and detail their specialized toxic fluid system. The Komodo dragon is the largest living lizard, reaching 10 feet in length. Let us compare its physical capabilities to a saltwater crocodile's massive skull. The saltwater crocodile possesses the strongest mechanical bite force in the animal kingdom. Its jaws crush bones easily with a pressure of 3,700 psi. In contrast, the Komodo dragon has a weak bite force of only 5 to 100 psi. This pressure is even lower than a domestic cat when scaled to body size. If they tried to hold and wrestle prey, their fragile skulls would easily fracture. Their skull is composed of lightweight bones, unable to withstand heavy vertical stress. Therefore, they must rely on a different hunting strategy based on chemical toxins. Their physical tools are curved teeth, sharp and serrated like shark teeth. When biting, they pull their heads backward, creating wide and deep tearing wounds. But the physical cut is merely the entry doorway for their real chemical weapon. For decades, scientists believed that bacteria in the dragon's saliva killed the prey. This bacterial theory was proposed by biologist Walter Offenberg in the 1970s. He observed bitten water buffaloes dying of severe infection several days after the encounter. He concluded that the dragon's mouth was a reservoir for deadly septic bacteria strains. For 30 years, this explanation dominated wild nature television documentaries and school textbooks. But modern microbiologists began to doubt this septic mouth saliva hypothesis. The Komodo dragon's mouth biome is no dirtier than other wild mammalian predators. In 2009, scientist Bryan Fry performed a historic breakthrough study on dragons. His team analyzed a Komodo dragon's skull using industrial magnetic resonance imaging scans. They discovered 6 specialized venom compartments located deep inside its lower jaw anatomy. These compartments release the toxic secretions through ducts situated between the teeth structures. Unlike venomous snakes, Komodo dragons do not possess hollow fangs to inject fluid. Instead, their chewing motions push the toxic secretions directly into the torn wounds. The Komodo dragon's venom contains specific proteins that prevent blood clotting entirely. These proteins block the key enzymes responsible for closing the bleeding blood vessels. Consequently, the torn skin wounds bleed continuously, refusing to scab or close. Simultaneously, the venom triggers rapid dilation of the major blood vessel pathways. This sudden vascular expansion causes the prey's blood pressure to collapse completely. The victim enters a state of severe shock, losing the physical strength to escape. This chemical mechanism is far more efficient than exhausting physical chases and struggles. The dragon avoids the high risks of bone fractures or injuries from desperate prey. A single successful bite starts a slow, inevitable countdown to physical collapse. Let us compare the fast neurotoxin of a cobra to the dragon's slow hemotoxin. Cobra venom destroys neural pathways, paralyzing breathing systems within minutes. Conversely, the dragon's hemotoxin works slowly over many hours or even days. This gradual effect aligns perfectly with the strict energy economics of reptiles. They lack the complex respiratory systems required for long-distance athletic chases. Heavy sprinting creates metabolic acidosis, quickly exhausting their cold-blooded muscles. This passive tracking strategy is the ultimate key to their island survival. The dragon simply needs to walk slowly, following the escaping target's scent trail. To achieve this, they possess an extraordinary and highly sensitive chemical sensing system. Their long, yellow, deeply forked tongue functions like an advanced chemical radar. The forked tongue collects microscopic scent molecules suspended in the tropical air. When retracted, the tongue tips fit directly into the Jacobson's organ on palate roof. This sensory organ decodes the chemicals, transferring the direction data to their brain. Thanks to the independent forks, the dragon knows if target is left or right. The tip, receiving a higher concentration of chemicals, indicates the prey's path. This chemical tracking system is far more advanced than mammal olfactory organs. A wild dragon can sense a bleeding victim from up to 9 kilometers away. They calmly begin their search journey, walking at a steady and slow pace. While the prey exhausts its system in panic, the dragon saves its energy. This is a tactical clash of sprint speed versus long-term passive endurance. The panicked running accelerates the circulation, spreading the venom faster through the body. As heart rates rise, blood pressure drops further, increasing the internal fluid loss. The dragon crawls steadily in shadows, keeping its metabolic rate near minimum levels. A sprinting deer expends 10 times more energy than a slowly crawling lizard. As hours pass, the deer's circulatory system reaches critical pressure levels. It is forced to stop and lie down due to absolute physical exhaustion. But the dragon continues to advance, never stopping for rest or pause. The predator marches tirelessly, guided by its advanced biological chemical compass. Eventually, the deer loses the capability to stand up on its legs again. Complete blood pressure collapse pushes its system into a deep coma state. The Komodo dragon arrives at the exact moment, finding the defenseless target. It subdues the prey safely without any risks of dangerous defensive kicks. This passive hunting methodology is a perfect evolutionary adaptation for island predators. Food resources on isolated islands are strictly limited and highly unpredictable. Wasting calorie reserves in such environments leads to rapid starvation and death. A slow metabolic rate allows dragons to survive for months without food. But when prey is secured, they consume meat up to 80% of body weight. Their stomachs stretch to accommodate massive amounts of flesh during a meal. Extremely powerful stomach acids digest bones, hooves, and hard horns completely. Almost zero nutritional components of the hard-won prey are left wasted. After a massive feeding event, dragons can rest statically for several weeks. This low energy requirement is the primary secret of their island dominion. They have ruled the Lesser Sunda Islands for millions of evolutionary history years. However, their restricted island habitats make them highly vulnerable to extinction. Today, wild Komodo dragons exist only on a few protected Indonesian islands. The entire wild population is estimated at only 4,000 remaining individuals. Rising sea levels and human activities constantly threaten their restricted nesting areas. Protecting these ancient lizards is crucial for preserving the island ecosystem balance. As apex predators, they regulate the herbivore populations across the national park. Without them, deer and pigs would overpopulate, destroying the native vegetation cover. The Indonesian government established strict national reserves to protect their breeding sites. Ecotourism developments help generate vital funding for local conservation research efforts. However, tourist activities must be strictly managed to prevent habitat disruptions. Komodo dragons are highly sensitive to disturbances within their home range territory. Respecting their wild spaces remains the single path to save these ancient monsters. They are living fossil specimens, a window back to the dinosaur era age. Their physical presence reminds us of the raw power of biological evolutionary pathways. Let us cooperate to protect this invaluable biological treasure of our natural world. The Komodo dragon proves that chemical adaptations defeat brute physical muscle forces. They require no bone-crushing jaw pressure to dominate the wild survival arenas. Patience, toxic fluids, and chemical radar sensors ensure their long-term evolutionary dominance. Understanding predator psychology helps us appreciate the diverse paths of biology, evolution. The wild world is a massive chessboard where every species possesses its moves. Will we choose to protect these dragon gladiators, or allow them to vanish? The survival of the Komodo dragon is a test of our nature commitment. Their prehistoric gaze reminds us of the raw strength of natural evolutionary history. Let us preserve these islands of wonders for future generations to learn. To discover why deep ocean monsters fear killer whales, click this video now.